So I know all you guys remember Donald Trump had Zelensky in the White House, had to be a few months ago now, and the clip went mega viral because he basically berated the guy, right? He basically berated him in front of the world. Quite a message to send when Zelensky is the head of a country that got offensively and illegally invaded by Russia. Of course, Putin was ecstatic about that fact. But at the same time, remember, Trump was trying to make a deal with Ukraine. And the deal effectively is like, hey, you got to give us half of your shit from now until forever if you want us to keep supporting you. Basically like the minerals and the ports and their natural resources. It really is economic colonization of Ukraine being done by the U.S. And of course, Zelensky, he's in a no-win situation because if you don't get the help, Vladimir Putin could just take your whole country and you have nothing. Or you make a deal with the devil with Trump in the U.S. and you're submitting to economic colonization where the U.S. steals like 50% of your shit from now until forever, right? So really put him in an unwinnable situation, a horrific situation. But Trump's rhetoric the whole time is, we need a deal. We got to make a deal. Not just you and me, Ukraine, but we got to get Putin to the table. We got to make a deal. We got to end the bloodshed. Remember, Trump famously said about 1,000 times, I'll end that war on day one. It wouldn't have happened if I was in office. I'll end that war on day one. Well, you're not going to be surprised to learn, not only did he not end it on day one, he still hasn't ended it, and we're over 100 days into his regime. But guess what? Every single thing that liberals and leftists warned Trump and the right that this would happen, it has come to pass. In other words, for all of it, I'll get a deal, it'll be great, it'll be amazing. Guess what? Vladimir Putin has unleashed hell on Ukrainians, unleashed hell on them, and he's bombing them ruthlessly and relentlessly. So let's watch.
Welcome to the NewsHour. Russia is escalating its bombing campaign against Ukraine with a massive drone attack hitting cities and towns overnight and into this morning. In the past week alone, 30 Ukrainians have been killed and more than 163 injured. That's prompted President Trump to lash out at Russian President Vladimir Putin, but also Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as diplomacy stalls and violence rages.
I love that Putin launches this massive attack against Ukraine and Trump yells at Putin, but also at Zelensky. Zelensky has done every single thing you asked, everything. And he's still also going after Zelensky. Because in his right-wing mind, and I've told you guys this before, everything is inverted, right? So another great example of this is the most oppressed and persecuted people in this country are somehow the billionaires, right? And people with no money and no power who are actually oppressed. No, they're doing the oppressing. The right-wing mind inverts the morality of every situation, and that's what we're witnessing now with Russia and Ukraine.
A late night for Ukraine as flames and sirens broke through the darkness. Overnight, Russia sent the biggest drone attack of the entire war so far. Ukrainian Air Force officials say more than 355 drones came from Russia last night. And the night before, 298 drones. Plus almost 69 missiles. Today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the attacks made it clear Russian President Vladimir Putin didn't want to end the war.
All the more so as Russian strikes are becoming increasingly brazen. Over 900 attack drones launched against Ukraine in just 3 days, along with ballistic and cruise missiles.
On Sunday outside of Kyiv, Ivan and Lyubov Fedorenko's home was destroyed.
Thank God we had no children at home. Yesterday, I was trying to persuade my daughter to come to us. After all, she lives on the 8th floor in Kyiv, and here it's the ground floor.
Bombing innocent people, bombing elderly women.
She said, no, Mom, I'm not coming. And thank God she didn't come, because the rocket hit on the side where the children's rooms were.
Moscow's defense ministry says they've shot down more than 100 Ukrainian drones, and flights to Moscow were diverted on Sunday and Monday. On the tarmac yesterday, President Trump said he was losing patience with Russian President Putin.
I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time. Always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Vladimir, stop! Remember that? Vladimir, stop! You know what I said? I said, Vladimir, stop! How's that going? How's that going, fella?
President dodged questions about what changes he's willing to make, such as sanctions on Russia or military assistance to Ukraine.
President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake.
Later on social media, the president posted that Putin has gone absolutely crazy and had harsh words for Ukraine's President Zelensky, writing, "Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop."
So Zelensky does every single thing Trump asks of him and just goes out there and explains the facts that he's under a relentless assault from Russia. And Trump's like, everything out of his mouth causes problems and I don't like it. It better stop. Enough with the both sides bullshit. Vladimir Putin doesn't want to end this war. That's why he started it. He wants Ukraine. He wants to take it. Go watch when he launched the illegal war in the first place. Go listen to his speech where he says very clearly, Ukraine is a fake state. It's really ours. We want to take it. And now Trump's surprised? Like, well, it seemed, what is it? We're supposed to be making a deal and you don't want to make a deal. Yeah, everybody fucking warned you he didn't want to make a fucking deal. That was the point. You berate Zelensky all the time like he's the problem. He's the one that got invaded. He's not doing the invading.
Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov claimed Russia was retaliating against Ukrainian strikes and called President Trump's words an emotional reaction.
Yeah, they literally were mocking Trump over his, like, Vladimir's gone crazy. Vladimir, stop.
I will prevent World War III.
From the early days of the presidential campaign, Trump said he alone could end the violence on...
he's going to prevent World War III, and by that he means launch a trade war with the entire world, threaten to steal Greenland, threaten to steal Panama, threaten Canada, threaten Mexico, threaten Iran, threaten Venezuela, bomb Yemen, bomb Somalia, take over Gaza. That's what he means. I'm going to stop World War III by waging wars on anybody and everybody I want, because war, when I do it, is actually peace.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office shortly after we win the presidency, we win. All of us together are going to win. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. I know them both. I will get it settled.
Such a liar, such a bullshitter. Nothing fucking sticks. Nothing sticks.
But 4 months later, progress is elusive. President Trump and Putin spoke on the phone just last week, and Trump said ceasefire talks were imminent. Russian and Ukrainian officials recently met in Turkey for their first in-person talk since 2022, and Trump has sent high-level officials to speak to Putin, like envoy Steve Witkoff. Many Republicans in Congress have been advocates for Ukraine, but have largely deferred to Trump. Now, cracks are appearing in that united front. Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley made a direct plea on social media, asking the president to take action, at least sanctions.
So there you go. Trump had this grand plan of, I'm going to get them to talk. I'm going to solve it. We're going to get peace. And he sort of blames Zelensky for there not already being peace. And what you're realizing, you fucked around and you found out, is that all of your critics were exactly right. Zelensky is not the one who's preventing peace. Maybe the guy who did the illegal and offensive invasion of a country that's not his, that didn't attack him, maybe he's the one to blame. And maybe he takes you for a ride anytime he pretends for 5.5 seconds like he actually wants peace. By the way, you want peace? Okay, withdraw. There you go, peace. There you go. If you withdraw, Ukraine's not going to start attacking you. No, if you withdraw, it's over, done. He doesn't want to. He wants to steal Ukraine. And if he can't get all of it, he wants to steal parts of it. He's the warmonger. He's the warmonger. By the way, he wants the minerals. He wants the ports. He wants the oil and gas. A lot of this has to do with that as well. So Trump comes in there and Trump steals about 50% of Ukraine's natural resources. And of course, by the way, the deal here, the unspoken part of the deal is, if Ukraine agrees to let the U.S. colonize them and steal half their shit, implied in that is, well, also you're going to give them all the weapons they need and at least let them see this fight through and try to defeat Russia, right? That's the deal. And apparently, Trump is trying to economically colonize Ukraine. And then now that they're being relentlessly assaulted by Russia, he's not actually saying, oh, okay, yeah, we're totally on your side. Fuck Russia. Here's the weapons you need, etc. It's still both sides bullshit. Both sides bullshit. He's a con man, he's a fraud, and he has an inverted morality system where the people who are the aggressors are always the victims, and the people who are the victims are the aggressors to him. That's what it is. And here's Putin humiliating him day after day after day. And by the way, they're laughing about it on Russian TV. They're mocking Trump. Completely and utterly unfit. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.